All right, time now for the wonderful world of Unsafe Spaces Sports. Oh, yeah, wild weekend in the world of college football. We just talked a little bit about probably the most shocking result of 2018 so far. And let's kick off our scores with the score on that game, which was absolutely bizarro world. Old Dominion 49-35 over Virginia Tech at their place at Old Dominion. But regardless, a monster upset, biggest, as Aaron said, biggest win in the history of the Old Dominion program, and a pretty significant embarrassment for Virginia Tech. Next up, to no one's surprise, Alabama trucked Texas A&M. A&M's a program that's coming up. Alabama is heads and shoulders above almost everybody else, which is usually the time where somebody stumbles. But that would require rat poison. And Nick Saban was actually asking for rat poison from the press. Give my guys the stuff they're doing wrong. Don't write about the stuff they're doing right. It's the best. All right, next up, a game that, I was wrong on. TCU had their hats handed to them by Texas. Texas, great job. Fantastic. Coach Herman and company have got to be really, really excited about what Texas has going on right now. Aaron and our good buddy Brian Jones, he's overly happy right now with Texas. Next up, the Stanford Cardinal. Oops. That's a color, by the way. They were trailing big time to Oregon late in this game. In fact, about the beginning of the fourth quarter, what didn't look like much of a game. Well, it turned into one heck of a game in the second half, and Oregon just collapsed, an epic collapse, and Stanford wins 38-31. Next on the list, another big game. I think that surprised a lot of people, especially SEC fans. Mississippi State came into this game. Good defense, tough running game, tough physical, and they got their butts whipped. Kentucky did it. Mark Stoops and company, congratulations. Great to see you. Now you're listed at number 17 in the AP Top 25. Let's see how you do it from here. But what a great game and a really good win. And the last game of the weekend was also an SEC game. And Florida, who suddenly, kind of like Texas, seems to be alive, just trucked Tennessee. Jeremy Pruitt and company up on Rocky Top got some work to do. Got a lot of work to do. Hey, something happened here in Atlanta at East Lake Country Club. Tiger Woods won the Tour Championship yesterday. And in case you've been living under a rock and didn't know that, he sort of ran away with it Saturday and stayed in front of everybody on Sunday. It was a win reminiscent of the way he used to win. I love it when they list stuff in days. It's been about 5 years. Let's put it that way. And he's been playing extremely well, and he put it all together on the right weekend. This is not a major for those of you that don't know golf well. So technically he's not back winning majors, but man, he won $1 gazillion, which is an actual number when it comes to golf these days and the amount of money they hand out. And he and the USA will be over in France for the Ryder Cup this weekend, and he's got a world of confidence. We're going to scroll real quick through the NFL scores from yesterday. There were quite a few, I guess, surprises, you might say. The number one, or first, I should say, game we're going to talk about is the Rams and the Chargers, the Falcons and the Saints. And that was, I guess, it was exciting. Not exactly defensive filled. Two teams trying to find defenses. Well, Atlanta found the least amount of defense, and they lost. New England scored a touchdown in overtime to beat them. Not a good look so far for Atlanta. They're down a lot of people on the defensive side of the ball, and it does look like it. All right, number two, the game I thought was first, the Rams and the Chargers. Rams are legit. Sean McVay is doing a fantastic job, and right now they do own L.A. And yes, those are both LA teams. And yes, there's no longer a team in San Diego. And yeah, I mentioned that on the air Saturday night and got a lot of nasty notes on Twitter. Thank you. Spelled my name right, so it was all good. Fantastic. All right, now San Francisco and Kansas City played for about a half. For the first half, Kansas City beat San Francisco about the head. Hard. And it wasn't even funny. And now it looks like Jimmy Garoppolo might have torn his ACL and maybe out the rest of the year. So hope is slowly dying for the Niners. And they were so optimistic. Yeah, stuff happens. Next up on the list, the Eagles bring Carson Wentz back as their starting quarterback. And what a way to do it. A late rally. They beat Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. Congratulations to Carson Wentz, because it's been about 10 months since he got hurt, approximately. And to come back already from an ACL and look the way he did and run the way he did and move around, great job by him. I loved it. And the last game of the night was a game that people thought was going to be a real stinker. Well, you know what? It was. Detroit smacked New England. And it wasn't that close. Detroit was a team that couldn't get out of their own way for a couple weeks. But wow. All right, and the last story in sports is the Atlanta Braves. And whether you're a Braves fan or a baseball fan or whatever, you have to appreciate what the Braves have done. Because we see this in sports occasionally. This whole idea of worst to first. Atlanta was pathetic. Atlanta's general manager was banned from baseball for cheating and the way he was signing some kids. I mean, it looked pathetic for the Braves going forward. You know what? They forgot to tell the 2018 Atlanta Braves. And congratulations to them. They're a mix of young players, older players, good arms. Their manager, Brian Snitker, has done an exemplary job. And they know enough about celebrating. They may be new, but they know to wear the goggles around all the champagne when you win the East. Congratulations to the Braves, and that'll do it for Unsafe Spaces Sports.